this week. I'm not open tomorrow, but most of the week I'm available.
Can you let the reaching out to have the
Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Okay, so it is 6:01, and we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Um, so the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is welcome visitors to come up to the table, and if they have anything to share. Hello, I am Carmen Dunn. I'm on the Parks and Trails Commission, and in our last meeting, not the one earlier today, but our last meeting, we talked about the murals that you guys have kind of coordinated on the building over here, and we thought that would be a great addition to some of our parks, maybe on built the restrooms. We were thinking in McCormick, and so we just wanted to bring it up to you guys and let you know that we were interested in that to see if that would be something you guys would want to coordinate or kind of decide on a place that you might want to do a mural.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to bring that to you guys and see if you'd be interested.
That's great.
I wish Nixie didn't have to miss, because I know murals are
I'd say we're definitely interested in looking into that, yeah.
Okay. So if you have questions, you can, I guess, we're meeting monthly now, so you can come to one of our meetings, or you could email me directly, and I'd be happy to field questions and bring it back to my group at the next meeting, so we don't have to be jumping from meeting to meeting to meeting.
Would you guys
So-
have designs you have in mind?
No,
Something
we
or
were
just-
thinking something that was consistent with parks, so
Okay.
not something totally random, but something related to the park that the mural is in. So we have new restrooms over at Grayscliff Park. So that would be a potential spot. And then McCormick has the restrooms there. We talked about that being a potential spot. So, but feel free to propose different areas that you think might be good. So.
I'm thinking back to the trash can painting competition. We had some park-themed trash cans. Maybe reach out to those artists if they want to utilize their designs for in the parks.
Yeah. Fantastic. Do you have a card or anything? I can leave my name and number for you guys.
Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
So should I go now, or am I on the agenda?
No, you're not on the agenda.
I am.
Yeah, yes.
Is these?
3B.
Oh, but that's just the,
Oh, I see it.
yeah, sorry.
Well, yeah, well,
So can he,
go now, or it's up to you.
okay, go ahead.
So, two things. Craig McQuardo. So one is, anyone do their homework? Because the next time that if I end up coming back, that means that I have already gone to council, that they would have approved the app, and we would have first designs to present. So this is the time. You can also email me if you have ideas later, but this is the time to give me any feedback or input in terms of the level of detail and content for the app that you'd like to see on it.
Biggest thing is like a walking tour for public art. So like everything would be like geotagged.
A walking tour.
Well, like it would actually like direct you, like it geotag it and open up in a map app.
Okay. So so like for example, like with a park, there'll be a general map, obviously, that will show all the dots.
Right.
And then each one of those will open up into a separate piece.
Right.
And then if, for example, in that park, there's a piece of art
Right.
kind of thing, so that can be so it can be accessible from a few different places.
It could have
So-
an app, but it would also want like
but-
its own.
Right. No.
stuff.
So meaning,
Yeah.
right. But there's going to be multiple ways
Yeah.
that different pieces of information can be obtained. So, so if you have a piece of art in a park, for example, you can find it through there, but it'll have its own subcategory just for public art and such. The question is, because I want it to be something that people want to make it something appealing that people want to look for, you know. So I don't necessarily, I mean, do you really feel there's a big market for people wanting to like traipse the city and find the different pieces of art like all at one time, or do you think that they're
Well, not necessarily like just like a total tour, but at least that it's a list, and they can tap it and it shows where it's at.
Oh no, yeah,
Or
we'll
if
definitely
they're
have
there
It's just when you said tour, it made it seem like they were going to do it all at once.
Like it's their own little self.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Because that's what a lot of them are called. They're not just called trails, or they're called like a house tour or something.
Right.
That jazzes it up.
Right.
So I see where.
And if like maybe they had like the location services on
Right.
whenever, like it maybe like it buzzes in their pocket when they're near public art.
And that's going to be something I was going to ask you about. That I was going to my suggestion was that we give an optional this because we can have hundreds of them if we want. But as a user, you can enable different levels of push notifications, and so we can do it for historical landmarks. We could do it for all types of stuff, but we can also do it for public art displays. But again, they have to opt into it. It's not going to happen automatically.
I think it would be a good idea if they opted into it. That they
Is there anything in particular you feel like is overlooked that you feel should be highlighted more?
I wasn't here last time, so can you catch me up a minute?
So
Let me ask a couple of questions. So you're going to be generating the info, you're getting the info from other things online and just accumulating it? I have this. That's what I have my questions written on.
So the app is designed to be a warehouse, basically, for a multitude of information.
Okay, my question is, are you generating the information or you're getting it from
It is
or online?
It's a combination, depending on what the information is. Some we are working with certain stakeholder partners in terms of whether it's a city, the county, the port, the libraries, the school districts, the police departments, and such. Others, for example, when it comes to there's a lot of information that's already available. For example, like with the parks information, we can extract a lot of information from the websites that are out there.
So what's being paid for is you doing this app. You
Well,
put it together.
I'm not getting paid. No, it's a nonprofit. But we're paying the developer to build the app.
Okay.
And then the bigger question is how the information gets updated once it's already.
That is my next question. Who
And-
does that?
So we will have. So there's going to be a small amount of advertising on the app that is going to, and that money is going to be used to pay for an individual who's going to be hired to do nothing but curate the app on a daily basis. So they're going to update the front page, which is the daily information that gets changed, but also their responsibility is they're going to have a calendar. So if certain information gets updated daily or weekly or monthly, they're going to work with whomever those people are. That because the problem is we have options. We could build a back page web page for say someone from the city or the port or the county or any of these different entities to input the information. But if they fail to do so, then the information on the app is outdated and therefore it's a useless platform. So I want my guy to make sure that while they know what the schedule is, if he doesn't have information from whoever it is by a certain point, he'll reach out and make sure he gets that.
And what's the cost of this app?
We just got the total. So the total of the app is going to be $90,000, but that cost is going to be split between the multiple cities and multiple counties and ports.
And you're anticipating the city of St. Helens share to be?
I don't know yet. I'm working on that. I just got that number last week.
Okay, so it's the county and all the cities.
Yes. And the port will probably contribute as well, because from an economic development standpoint.
You said it would generate ad revenue too, right?
Well, the ad revenue is to make
7
sure that there's no
entities.
ongoing cost to the cities. So they don't have to pay. It's a public-private partnership, but there should be no more money needed after the app is built because the ad revenue will pay for the after costs necessary. So his salary and whatever else is needed after that. So
Thank
that
you.
way it's just a one-time fee, and then there shouldn't be any additional cost needed ongoing ever.
Okay, so we have about 1 minute left. Do you guys have any other suggestions? Or?
And if not, what I would like is to be able to say that that your commission is, I don't know what the best term for it is, or an endorsement or an approval.
You want a recommendation?
Recommendation, sure.
That's what you're asking.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay.
So last meeting we had a mural proposal. Do you by chance have that so we can take a quick look at it? Or? Okay. Shoot. Oh, we don't have minutes either, huh? Okay, do you guys remember the mural?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need to do like a quick rehash. Okay, so, can I get a motion to go ahead and make a recommendation for this mural project?
Yeah, that was one I didn't, I forgot that we probably should have budgeted the paint supplies to put on for this, but I would, because I thought we were gonna explore it in the next year.
I look at Matt, see him pull on the microphone.
I was just going to say that Hope, who was doing the mural presentation, did not have a budget so to force right now, and that doesn't necessarily have to come specifically from your funds. It could also come from other sources, donations, or from City Council as well. Can direct where those funds come from.
Yeah.
They're just
And
looking
she was simply just looking for a recommendation for the project in itself, not an actual budget yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we already covered on the last meeting then, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so we don't need any.
So, question,
You
usually,
never made a recommendation.
We didn't?
No,
Okay.
at the last meeting. So.
Okay, yeah.
usually for an art project of any size, what you guys do is open it up to local artists and ask for, to see if anybody's interested.
Well,
If you-
she was the one bringing it to our,
Right, right. It would,
and she's the one.
that'd be
painting it.
different.
Yeah. So I approve that she does it. I liked it. I think her only
So I
concession
would
was.
second that.
Yeah.
Okay, all of those in favor?
Aye.
All of those opposed? Okay. Okay, so now, okay. So,
Yeah, I'd say put it up in front of council.
so are we, this is just recommending for council, this isn't saying that we're giving our support? Or-
Yeah. I supported it, but for the public art and all that stuff.
And don't get me wrong, you guys will have, there'll be other opportunities going forward to, like I said.
For input and stuff.
Once we're presenting graphics because there'll be a beta test, which you guys will have access to.
Yeah, it'll take a while to
Everybody else
put it all
does.
together.
Okay.
So there'll be plenty of opportunities.
So can we go ahead and make a motion to recommend this to city council?
Make a motion.
Okay, I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
Thank you, kids.
All right, now we're getting to the juicy stuff. Next, let's see, 2019, 2020 art projects. So attached, you have proposed budgets for a couple of projects that we had discussed in the past. This isn't including anything that we've already done, such as trash can. These are all brand new, which is exciting. Have you guys taken a quick, let you guys take a quick look at them? And
Yeah,
do you have any
email.
questions?
Conversations shouldn't cost us anything.
No, because we're going a different route with it this year as opposed to this previous year.
We already have supplies if we were gonna do like the
Mhm.
drawing pads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the column 18, 19, the one
It's
that.
highlighted.
17, yeah.
We didn't do anything for Halloween Town last year.
As you kind of go through that list and looking at your projects for the next year, I would encourage you to ask yourself, and maybe ask yourself as a commission, whether these projects, whether you need to have the ACC to do these projects, or whether or not the rec program can assist in these programs and
Well,
lend
like
a hand
the,
when you need it.
The rock project, Shauna and I have already ended that. So that was one thing that we felt, we discussed it prior. Yeah, to go ahead and hand that
Correct.
one off.
So I'm just thinking as you start looking at this, the skateboard art, the I'm going to mispronounce the first one, so I'm not even going to try. I apologize. And then the Festival of Trees and everything. I would just ask you as a commission to make sure that these are really Arts Commission projects and not individual projects that the rec program can help you with.
I can see the rec program maybe with the Dia de los Muertos, but the skateboard art auction is to raise funds. It probably should kind of be a partnership with the skate park. It would be a fundraising.
Well, the skate park is owned by the city.
Right. But it'd be for projects with the skate park. Like Lisa's not here. We're gonna work together on a mural in the skate park.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be using funds raised from that to pay for the supplies for the mural. So and then also for get kids like in designing.
Correct.
skateboards and options.
So I'm just going to play devil's advocate here.
Right.
I seem to be good at that here at the city. Do you need the Arts Commission to do that project?
How would the Rex program be that?
Well, honestly, for that program, why do you need the rec program? I mean, this is, I think, something that you guys would paint and...
No, we're not painting them.
Okay.
Artists paint them.
Okay.
And then we approve the art and then have them auctioned.
So similar to what we do with the trash can competition, is we would send out notification.
Somewhat.
Or are you thinking of just
I was
putting it out
gonna
there?
use either like the Arts Guild artists or, but it's not like a public free-for-all event like that.
Okay.
Is that something you need the support of the Arts Commission to accomplish?
I would think so.
In what way?
Maybe tell me how it would be involved in this commission. So I'm confused why I wouldn't.
Well, that's why I'm asking. How do you
Right.
see the Arts Commission being involved in the project?
Well, one, for sure, we would be in support of it, because part of what the Art Commission, my understanding is that we are helping to bring additional art into the community.
Yeah.
One of the ways that we're finding that's being useful and beneficial to the community is the murals. The murals are taking off beautifully, similar to that of the trash can painting. That's a project I don't really ever see this commission letting go of. Modifications, yes, but letting go of probably not, right now. But it's a matter of, who else in the community is coming up with these types of project ideas that are going to involve the community and bring art to our city. And I think that's where it would fall under the Arts Commission, because that is part of what our goals are, what are they called? Not bylaws, I want to say bylaws.
And the Columbia Art Guild kind of does that too. There is another arts organization that does it, and the recreation program actually does too. They have art-related projects too.
I guess the larger question is, as the rec program takes shape and has resources like their facility, which is going to be a real asset to the community, and they have maybe other sources of funding and staffing, there may be opportunities to collaborate that weren't possible before. The library has been asking some of these same questions. There are a lot of things that the rec program does today that in the past the library had some programming that may have been very much akin to what the rec program is doing now. But given that the rec program has the resources to put those programs together, sometimes it seems more appropriate for that to be placed with them. And so, or in other cases, we may collaborate. So I guess it's a fair question as they evolve and have resources and staffing and a building. It's more, and the Arts Commission has open positions, and so fewer people working. Where is that, that balance where maybe there are resources that you can pull together and achieve the same thing?
Because, like I said, the last meeting, some of these projects that we discussed last meeting, I see them as recruitment tools as well. I think from my engaging in the community, and I know with Jen engaging with the community, a lot of people have lots of suggestions. They just don't necessarily have the time. And so, I've also explained to them, well, in order for us as the commission to be able to help your vision exist, we also need volunteers and, even some commissioners to partake, because we all have to be in charge of the project. And a lot of us, we either have jobs or a business or something that we're doing. So that's where I encourage them to, hey, why don't you come on board and get involved in this? I do agree in that, we're going to see some areas where we're going to need to not need, but we're all going to want to collaborate. But I think the question for this one is going back, how was this an arts
It's
commission
trying to go for
project?
like youth culture.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think with this, we're not saying that there won't be a collaboration of some sort with the rec center. But I think right now, for all intents and purposes, we're
I
just
might
trying
use
to
the
figure
building,
out.
but that's about it.
Yeah. Well,
I would be the one
goal,
reaching out to artists and basically running the project.
Wouldn't the goal be to do it at? I thought that's what it was in the beginning, to do it at the skate park, or.
Either like at the skate park or at the library next to the skate park. They would be on display, and it'd be a silent auction for a couple weeks. And then the funds we can decide where the funds go. Either like
Well, I
some
liked
kinda-
your idea of the funds being reinvested back to purchase supplies.
I would get
for the
artists to
mural.
donate their time, like reach out to Matthew Curry, maybe work with the Portland Street Art Alliance to find some Portland Street artists that want to paint, stuff like that. Basically, it's just to get kids excited about art in the city, because they definitely get ignored.
Yeah, that's actually, I had a parent come up to me a couple months ago.
Teens are pretty ignored. It's either like really young kids with rocks, or it goes to like nobody. So
If I can just mention two more quick things. That for the youth, we do have a youth council that is also kind of looking for new members and looking to grow themselves as well. But also, I will just kind of, in researching the backstory of the Arts Commission and why it was created, I have found that it was really created to, you as a commission, work together and do large projects like what Kanika has done with the bridges, and not individual projects. They're more community-centric goals where you as a commission would hear from the community about what their thoughts are on this huge art piece, and then weigh on through that process to then vet it to the city council.
And to decide whether or not it fit the city, whether it was something that the city
So
could do.
it wasn't necessarily for individual projects that you're doing on your own that, in my opinion, you could still do on your own. You could still do, with one or two of you if you wanted to just meet outside and do what you wanted to. So, just my thoughts.
Like with Dia de los Muertos, the reason I brought that one up is because there is a huge lack of cultural component in this area. And so that is where I felt that one would definitely be an Arts Commission project. The Festival of Trees was just more of a tinker idea that I felt, just getting the idea down on paper and then figuring out how would this work as a community, who was going to be a part of this, because the art component is where I came up with the idea as well for this. Is it going to be a fundraiser for nonprofits? I've seen Festival of Trees where that was the case. They auctioned off the trees to raise money. So of course, have the individual nonprofits create the ornaments themselves, get creative, and that would bring the art component to it.
So are these
But
actually,
again-
these are actual events, right?
So the Dia de los Muertos I would consider an event.
Okay.
But again, covering the cultural aspect of it, bringing the heritage into this area that's not, it's not typically seen. But the Festival of Trees kind of bordered like it's an event. It was a fundraising idea, something to get the community more involved, especially the nonprofits, and get them more involved with creating art. Was kind of where my mindset was on with that one.
I will warn you, I'm not trying to say, obviously I have no inclination of what projects you do or don't do or events that you do or don't do. I know would hesitate you to be cautious when you do events, because that weighs into the territory of our event manager and some of the tourism and all the work that she's done to build those specific events. Of when an event happens and it's not like the other events, it can cause a ripple effect if there's any negativity on something. So I'm just cautiously letting you know to tread lightly on doing events, so to speak, especially when it involves the city, because then the city's going to want somebody from the city staff to oversee the events to make sure that it goes well.
Yeah.
So.
And that's an expense to the city that they may or may not want to.
Yeah, and there's also things like insurance.
Well, yeah, that's why, again, I'm thinking with the Dia de los Muertos, I'm looking for grants. We're not going to be doing a whole 2-3 day event like you would normally see with a huge celebration like this. A one day, just to help, educate people about this Dia de los Muertos.
Okay.
Because it is fairly popular. Portland has like 5 of them that pop up. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why doesn't St. Helens have one? We have 4 to 5 different Mexican restaurants in here and no Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, we're going to fix that. No, it wouldn't.
It's after Halloween.
It's after Halloween time. No, not the day after. And it wouldn't even be taking place here because you have to have altars created. So
I thought the Day of the Dead was
November 1st.
All Hallows Eve and then All Saints Day.
it depends on the region, but primarily it's celebrated November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And I wasn't even thinking about having it here. I was trying to figure out a different location because I knew she needs time to pick up and have them pick up and wrap up. So I was already in
One
my
of the
head.
other parks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I didn't realize it went beyond the 1st of November.
Again, it's just depending on who celebrates it and how they celebrate
With
it.
her or? Oh.
Okay, so looking back at this, let's see. So for the 2019-2020, are there certain projects that we can remove from here that, or do we need to keep these on here, Jamie? Okay. Okay.
Why is Gateway Project still on there?
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because we're done with that.
That just falls under maintenance now.
Which brings me to another question I have regarding maintenance. So I know I've heard stories back and forth where the Arts Commission is supposed to be maintaining artwork or is somebody else supposed to be maintaining artwork. So how do we find that out so we can...
You're supposed to be maintaining an inventory of the artwork and
An
check it to
inventory.
see if it needs to be fixed.
Okay.
And
So-
has there been some minimal amount of money in the budget for it to pay for that?
Mm-hmm. It's usually about, it was 500 this year.
Okay. I know we used some of that money when we had to redo some of those wooden.
Well, and the banners, we use some of that when we use a paint artist to redo one of the banners.
Right.
Sometimes repairs are needed.
So you want to continue to set aside a little bit of money for it.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at that budget, the 2018-19 line item is what your approved budget is this year. The middle one that says as of 12/7, that's how much you've spent or brought in by that time. And then the estimated year end is a piece of what I need to know. Just basically estimating based on what you've spent so far, what do you think you're going to spend by the end of the year?
So the 205 for public information, was that for the advertisement of the
For the
commission
positions.
openings? Okay.
Yep.
And then projects and programs, what was that?
That's gonna be, if you look down below it, you have the mural project, more free libraries, community art, so that
Okay,
breaks it down.
Yeah, so the 6,095 is broken down below.
okay.
And out of that 6,095, you've spent $700 so far.
Okay. Okay, so that's gone. Expansion compensation is gone.
And the, from my understanding, the Gateway project is completely done, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done. That's why I was
Okay.
asking
It
if
just
that
falls
needed
under
to be on
maintenance
there.
now, yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, the only thing that was supposed to be done was interpretive signs, but was never got done.
Oh, I thought they were done. So,
The Kaneko was supposed to do that, and then she left.
okay.
For your year-end estimates, which is what Matt needs to know to finish his year, we have
Mhm.
receipts for This Is Us totaling just shy of 800, which we've already as a commission agreed to pay, so that will be going into that estimate there. We
Okay.
also have the cards, which was just under $119. And then thinking about any of your projects, was there a reimbursement that you used for the pumpkin?
No, no, that was all paid directly from.
So then, is there anything else from now till the end of June that we foresee as an expense?
Whatever was allocated towards the little libraries, so the reimbursement hasn't.
400?
Yeah,
So that's another.
yeah, he's working directly with the school's administration for reimbursement, so that should happen pretty soon.
I can't think of anything from this point.
And then bike rec is done too.
Because the pumpkin painting, we decided to just do, for next year.
We did
Coloring
activity
pages.
sheets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Are you going to need any supplies for trash can painting? So those typically fall under this current fiscal year to buy the supplies.
Ahead of time?
By June, yeah.
Yeah, we'll need
Okay.
paint, but I don't know basically whatever we spent on the last one would be,
Are we still doing the trash cans this year though? Just with only 3 of us, that's a lot of work.
So let's discuss that really quick, because I know we had talked in the past about the picnic tables, and I saw that brought up a couple of more times in other meetings. Do we want to, because it is a community, so I don't necessarily just like want to go, go away with it, but
Yeah,
maybe
but
do
maybe
we want
something
to half trash can, half picnic table, or,
I wouldn't have it as either one or the other.
okay.
Maybe just is it just picnic tables that are in that park right there?
Well, that's what we need to figure
That
out.
would be your partnership with the Parks Commission. So
Yeah, they're the ones that
last-
brought it up.
Yeah, last year they had ordered some specifically for this, so you would need to
Oh,
partner
wow,
with them
okay.
and either see, do they have some that we can use already, or would they order a new one?
Okay.
Either way, it's the same budget. You just need paint.
So, what?
I just wanted to add a little comment about the picnic tables, because I heard some side conversations. 4th of July weekend, all the picnic tables are like in use and committed, one way or the other. And I wondered, I really liked the picnic table idea, and I think the Parks Commission did too. They just didn't like it for 4th of July.
It would have to
Okay.
be done like a couple weeks ahead.
Well, I had an idea for you that just having done events in this town for about 10 years, it works well when you do it in conjunction with somebody else's stuff, so you're not doing all the heavy lifting. And it might be cool, I don't know if you guys participated in the Citizens Day in August that we do, but that might be a really cool collaborative event at McCormick Park. You could paint picnic tables, it's all families. And so if you wanted to move away from garbage cans and do picnic tables, do it at a completely different event. So just to kind of throw it out there, as that would be a event where the parks would be like, they're already over there setting it up for Citizens Day, and it would enhance an event that we've done twice. This will be year 3.
Okay.
And that might be kind of cool if you really wanted to test out picnic tables without being in the middle of 4th of July where you got to get them all out of the way so people can set
Yeah.
up their blankets to watch fireworks.
That's something to consider, but then we need to go back around to trash cans during 4th of July, because it's been popularized. So I don't just want to pull it and then have the community wonder what happened.
I just do less cans.
That was exactly what I was going to bring up. We had discussed in the past maybe reducing the number of cans. I know Lisa has been in communications with Thad, and we have an abundance of cans.
Yeah, that's what I
So-
was thinking, to do something different. And with the amount of work that goes into preparing them and priming them and lifting them, and just for me personally, I can't lift so
Mhm.
many cans. I have a hard time with doing that myself. But so I was thinking we could do something different for that day.
Okay. So I'm keeping an eye on the clock because I do know that the youth commission has to meet here at 6:45.
So maybe we could
So,
revisit the topic.
yeah. So do we want to just?
If you guys are done by 7, that's fine. I'm here for youth.
Are you
And
sure?
yeah, I'm here for youth, but they don't start until 7.
Okay.
And you guys don't have a huge amount of stuff to pull out of the way.
Okay.
So we usually don't start, we're supposed to start at 7, and it's usually 5 after.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. So then.
To your question, sorry, as far as the expense for the trash can cleaning, you guys spent just shy of $200 for supplies.
Oh wow.
That's
Okay.
what was paid prior to this.
Okay.
I'd say it'd probably be the same.
Yeah.
Brushes and paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, Jack?
Okay, so looking over everything, and with mine, you know what? Do you have anything you want to add to your proposal?
For budget?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Because it would be, we're not supplying supplies. It'd be that other people donate their time and supplies.
Okay.
It's really not that big of a space to paint.
So really, we would be looking at. So the Arts Commission
We might need mounts, but I don't know about that. But
mounts
can
as
be
far
made up.
as.
For displaying them.
Okay. So we'd be purchasing the blank decks, $30 for shipping, the Krylon.
The shipping boxes were only if we do online auction,
Okay.
or if I need to send them to an artist and back.
Okay.
So really, it would be around 300 if you have to do that.
Okay.
But if it's all local, then it would only be about $200,
Okay.
which is relatively cheap for a community.
Well, I mean,
It's kind of also a PR event to show that we're here.
and for all intents and purposes, I mean, with the arts and cultural conversation, we had set aside 300, so that would take its place. Okay.
Yeah, because we do those, we just sit up in a shop.
So,
So you're going to do the skate deck this current fiscal year?
I think it's the next fiscal year.
Okay, so that means you're not going to purchase anything until after July 1st.
Yeah, it'd probably be like a. I was hoping
oh, I
Lisa
see, I
was
thought
gonna
it was
be here.
I know.
Because I potentially wanted to include the high school students.
Well, you could purchase the materials now
Right.
and then have the event in 1920. Because that's what we do for
It's up
trash
to you
cans.
guys. Yeah. I don't know.
And
'Cause
are
I was
you-
gonna work with Lisa on this too, but she's not here. So if there's room in the budget for it this year, it'd probably be best to buy it this year. Is basically it.
On the Festival of Trees, we have a monster tree stands.
That would be in the next year's budget, though, right?
Oh, yeah, that's not for this year. That's not until 1920.
So with that one, the rec program is doing something very similar that we're working with Tina on
Oh, okay.
during the tree lighting. Yeah. So we will have something up at the rec center that will have different craft things that people can do, art things. So we could partner with that one.
What do you mean?
If you
okay,
guys.
I think I'm lost because my idea was to reach out to 5 nonprofits and each have them take a tree, and then they themselves would decorate said tree. They would have to supply their own decorations that would encompass the whole art component of the project idea, and then and the logistical details I'm still kind of trying to fine tune, just because there are so many different ways that the quote unquote festival of trees happen. I've seen them done various ways, but I was thinking that this could potentially be a fundraiser for both the Arts Commission as well as the nonprofits. So the trees would be like a silent auction type setup, and then we would just have some fun entertainment. It would be like less than a half day kind of thing.
So the thing that we have planned will be probably on tree lighting. We'll have Santa there. We'll have different workshops going on and stuff. So a little bit different, but just so you know, there is something in the works for that.
And these
so.
are all pre-decorated, and you buy the tree to take home. So it'd take place well before Christmas.
Yeah, I was
Be
gonna do
early
it
December.
because I was gonna do this like the first, my ideal day was like the first weekend in December. Just making sure there were no other Christmas events going on, and even way before the tree lighting ceremony, because I wanted people to go ahead and start having their trees. You know, some people, they like to get their trees right after Thanksgiving, so that was gonna be the
I would probably partner this up with like a bazaar that's in the community.
well, because you had the rec center bazaar.
Yeah, I have a fall bazaar that I'll do in the middle of November.
This is November.
And then we'll do another
Even
big
in November.
If they're
Christmas
artificial.
type thing.
Yeah.
So just so we're not doing too many of the same events type of
Yeah,
thing.
no,
Yeah.
That's kind of because I.
And I'm willing, I mean, we could even put that in with whatever you guys want, that we don't have to plan the whole event too. I mean, just something to think about. We do have that on our agenda though.
Yeah, like I said, this one I saw more collaborating with somebody. It just the logistics. This was the bones of the general idea of what I wanted to do. So, okay.
So going back to the estimated year end, I'm just going to run down these numbers to make sure I have a rough idea in mind. For revenue in the top, right now you've received $3,000 in donations. I'm just going to move that over to estimated year end unless you anticipate any, I don't know that you anticipate any other donations, so to speak. And then I'm going to jump down to expenses, public information. I'm just going to leave at that 205 because I don't think you're going to be advertising in the next 6 months for new positions. For projects and programs, I have the $700 that you've spent already, $400 for the Little Free Libraries, $200 for 4th of July, and $250 to buy the supplies for the decks for the skateboarding project. And that's all I had for projects and programs. The summer arts in the parks, I was just going to move over that 880 unless you anticipate doing more summer arts in the projects, whatever was in that line item. That was for the trash campaign? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we got that. I'm going to move over the 500 from maintenance of the public art, just in case something comes up in the next 6 months that we have to repair. And then it's zeros the rest of the way down.
Okay.
Does that sound adequate, at least for right now, for what you believe is your best guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you go back to what you said about summer arts?
Oh, this is how much? That was 800. Okay.
Yeah.
So the summer arts in the parks, Jamie said that was the trash can painting.
But if you're talking about doing picnic tables on Citizens Day.
Would probably be purchased in the next fiscal year. So this, what he's talking about is expenses from now
Till the end of June.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the trash, picnic tables,
Yep.
that would be stuff in 2019.
Yeah, and I don't need your 2019 numbers tonight. I just need the end of the year estimates. So
Okay.
that's my biggest thing.
So we could still make modifications of these. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so then, as far as the budget from now until June goes, do I need to make a motion or? Yep, so we're good?
Yep.
All right.
We do need to figure out SIM dates.
Yes, that was gonna be next. Okay. Let me make a note here. Okay. All right, so we need to figure out if this meeting monthly is going to continue, or if we need to modify it. I'm thinking a bi-monthly would be nice, because we can always meet as a subcommittee, as long as we don't meet a quorum, and then of course we don't have to, what's the word I'm looking for, I'm sorry, official it. There you go. Which is something we've already been doing, and we've been doing it, in my opinion, very, 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 very well. The other thing we need to discuss is if the time works. I think the time does work because we take into consideration individuals who may be coming in from out of town. I know when Jen was chair, that was one of the things that she did some heavy, heavy research on, picking a date and picking a time, and so that's where we came up with meeting once a month on Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
Excuse me, sorry. Whew, Monday's throwing me off. Tuesdays at 6. So do we want to continue Tuesdays at 6, but just change from the monthly format to the bi-monthly format? Also keeping in mind that if we do need to have a meeting where we meet face-to-face, we can always request that.
Yeah. I think that's
That's
fine.
okay with me too.
Do I have to motion or anything?
Just wanted to get it all clear. So we meet every other month. Are we gonna meet January or February?
I say we start meeting January.
Yeah, just for starting the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fourth Tuesday at 6.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying meet next at the end of January?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So that would be what? The calendar. That would be January 22nd.
You're saying the bylaws dictate when we meet? I mean, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and do
Just to
that.
cover our bases?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say.
So can I please get a motion that we change our meetings to what we have currently, which is monthly, the fourth Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. to every other month, starting January 22nd, which it would continue to be the fourth Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m.
Motion.
Okay, I second.
So,
All those
question,
in-
if you meet in between, it would just be 2 of you at a time then, right? Since there are only 4 members?
At this
Otherwise,
point,
there'd be a quorum.
yes, unless we get additional commissioner members.
Okay.
And will you be able to do everything you need to do for the budget in the January meeting? So that, or would you have a budget subcommittee?
That's a good
Because if
question.
it's not due until the end of February, but you don't meet again.
Until March.
I think we should be able to communicate some via email if necessary. I believe that was one of the conversations Jen had with Kathy when she took over as chair. And so a lot of times information that we may need to, questions, clarifications or whatnot, we've been communicating a lot via email. So if that is still okay to do, then I think anything budgetary, unless we need to have an emergency meeting, then we could have an emergency meeting if need be.
Well, you can't make decisions on email.
No, we don't.
No, we don't
Okay.
make decisions. I'm just saying.
That's
if
the
we
only,
have
that's the only qualification.
questions,
That,
communicate, anything like that, and then if we need to have an emergency budget meeting.
Mhm.
Okay, all those in favor of the new meeting time?
Aye.
Any opposed? Awesome, thank you guys. Okay, any community news?
Well, while we have Shauna here, I'd like to hear more about the rec program. Like you were saying, you were going to have some December events. It would would be really interesting to me, wearing my library hat and my arts and cultural hat, to hear what's on the horizon with the rec program.
So currently, our biggest thing that we're doing right now is we're doing an after-school program. So we have kids from kindergarten through 6th grade coming to Lewis and Clark from all the elementary schools in St. Helens, and we're running that right after school until 6 o'clock every day. And then we are in the middle of remodeling the recreation center, and that will be our target date is February 1st to have that all open and ready to go. We kind of put everything on hold right now since we don't have a facility, and the schools right now are really hard to use because they're using them for their things since it's winter time. We do have a basketball program coming up for ages 4 through 6, or 4 years old to 6 years old, and that starts in February. And then we're just putting together ideas right now. I actually have a Friends of the Recreation program that we are meeting on, let's see, where are we at? On the 18th. The 18th, we're going to meet at the Recreation Center, and it will just be a meeting for different kind of community member ideas. They can submit proposals, so we're still taking your proposals all the way up until January 1st or whatever the next day we're back in the office. And so for the springtime and summer, one of the ideas is doing a community market at the Recreation Center, where like the first Saturday we have different vendors come in. We can have different classes going on. I'm going to reach out to the commissions to see if they want to have some sort of activity that they're doing there. Just our fall bazaar went really well, and we got a lot of really great feedback from the community that they want to see that going on more. So that's something on the horizon. Ryan, who is my youth program lead, he's the tennis coach for the boys' high school program, and he would really like to get a younger kids tennis program going on. So just right now, everything's so new, and we're just trying things to see if they work. I've been going to a ton of different meetings around the community to see what the community wants to see for activities. Parent cafes is another thing that we are going to be doing more of. We did one at Columbia City School, and it's just where parents get together in a non-judgmental place and just talk. There's free daycare and dinner, so things like that. So I think Matt and my main goal is just bringing community together through activity. And I've been attending a ton of suicide prevention trainings, and I'm really getting on board with that and helping the youth with that. So things that fit into that, those sort of activities too, or what were a lot of teen activities. We're taking over, well, not taking over. So there's a play group here in town that's been going on since my kids were little, so 20 years now. And it's at a church here in town, and we're going to be getting all of their things and doing the play group at the rec center. So that will be exciting.
I did reach out to you before, and it was actually before last month's meeting, because I wanted to discuss with you where Arts Commission and Rec Center could potentially collaborate down the road. Do you have time maybe this week for a meeting before we meet in January?
Yeah, I don't know about this week. I'll have to look. I have a lot of things going on this week, but definitely before you guys meet in January. I would love to also do like a art walk downtown where the businesses could host different artists and stuff and do some sort of recreation thing.
Because they do one. I'm not sure if you're aware of it.
I'm not aware of it.
Yeah,
They do a pub crawl.
Pub crawl.
Yeah.
Pub crawl.
Yeah, so that, which is amazing, and I think that I will work with them. I mean, I know I'll work with them on the other thing, but more of like a spring, summer type thing. So I think the pub crawl was around Halloween time, wasn't it? No?
No, it was earlier. It was
Okay.
December, I believe.
Yeah, so I'll double check with them.
They have
Maybe.
a spring fling that
Okay,
includes
perfect. Yeah.
going around town.
Yeah, so even if we don't put it on or whatever, being able to advertise that for them and help however we can. So that's the main thing, is it's not, we just want to kind of sprinkle in where we can and help with advertising and also with staffing and that sort of stuff. So there's definitely, I think, a lot of opportunities for us to work together.
Sounds good. Okay, anything else? We're just trying to hurry up and sign these Christmas cards. Anything else you guys got going on?
I don't have anything else.
Margaret, do you guys have anything going on in the library?
Always. In January, on January 8th, 10th, let me check that. Yes, on the evening of January 8th and 10th, it's a 2-night workshop from 7 until 9 of making a journal from a repurposed book. And it's being taught by Marnita, and I can't remember how to say her last name. She's a member of the Columbia Arts Guild, and she is going to, it's in the city's e-newsletter and on the library's Facebook page. But she's going to show you a lot of different techniques and then actually involve the participants in things like aging with ink and things like that. And then they will actually take an old book and cut out the pages and add new pages and do a little bit of binding as a part of bringing in these new pages for the journal. And we're encouraging the participants to possibly show their journals in our altered book show.
Oh, nice.
Which will be in the month of February, and that will be our 4th year to have altered or repurposed books on display. And so, I mean, it's not a requirement to be in the workshop, but once you have a finished product, you automatically have something to show. During the month of December, right now, the Museum Association has an exhibit in the library of antique toys, and it's really quite impressive. They've got really, really, really old toys like cement mixers and dump trucks, all the way up to Chatty Cathy's and Star Wars. And they have 5 display cases filled with different
Oh my gosh.
they had a reception on Saturday, but the show itself will be up to the month of December. So if you get a chance, come by and take a look at it. It's pretty interesting to see the array of toys through the decades.
Any Misfit toys in there? Any Misfit toys in there?
Misfit?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No, we have
Thank you for getting my reference.
no, there's baby carriages and
Oh, wow.
odd things that it's the original Chia Pet, only it's this.
Oh my
this
gosh.
With a hole in his head at the top. I don't know what he's called, but you should drop by and see them. And that, I guess that's the.
All right. Cool.
So you guys got anything going on?
Well, this will be my last meeting, so
Aw.
thank you guys. I've been participating now for 7 years, and I appreciate our relationship and the interaction that we've had, and I'll be watching what you do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much
Thank you.
for all the advisement and my whole year being here. It's been great. So thank you. Okay, you guys.
I didn't know if you guys knew Vishal that worked on the mural. Vishal, the young man that worked on your mural this
Oh,
summer,
I think I've
Oh,
done
I was
once,
gonna
yeah.
has come to join youth council.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, wonderful.
So just so you know, Lisa had referred him and
Oh,
thought that he
good.
would appreciate that, and he's been a real burst of energy for the youth council. So
Oh, thank
it's
you.
all those partnerships and connectivity is so important.
And he volunteered at Donut Day for the food bank, too.
Oh, did he?
Mhm.
Oh, good. I'm really glad that relationship, something transpired from
Well,
it.
just the connectivity.
Yeah.
The commission commissions were designed to create a network.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of little houses,
Yeah.
but more of a web where everybody finds a place.
Part of my goal, being the new chair, is to try to attend more of the other commission meetings as well, so that way they can put faces to names. And if they have a question, hey, guess what? I'm right here to answer it for you.
Well, and, I mean, you have a relatively small group. Youth Council has a relatively small group, but together you have a dozen folks, and you can actually affect something when you do something together.
Well, I think we had talked in the past about trying to work a little bit more with the youth council, because that was a missing component from what a lot of people were saying, is they want to see more youth art. It's like, okay, come on, fill us in, give us some ideas, and we'll see how we can implement them.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's 7:02, you guys. We went a little bit over. I do apologize. I believe we covered everything. So, do we need to make a motion to end the meeting? No? Okay. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, guys.
I think we can finish the signing.
Yeah, we'll just take over.